Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to the Wrestling Wrap Up. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. This is episode 16 of the Wrestling Wrap Up. And normally at this time during the week, I would do my Impact notes. I'm not going to cover Impact as a whole because I would like to talk about something else this week. I will say that I thought Impact was really good this week. I think they're getting better and better. I think Impact Wrestling is doing very well with the whole Wrestling Matters tagline, and it seems to me that it does. And as everybody knows who's watched these videos, I'm a huge fan of the X Division. And believe it or not, I think Abyss getting the X Division title is a good thing. Because it's going to make those X Division guys step up their game just a little bit more to try to take that title off from Abyss. And everybody all through Impact, was talking about history being made, and nobody made reference to the history that was actually being made with Abyss winning the X Division title. He became a Grand Slam champion. He's been the world champion, he's been the tag team champion multiple times, he just won the X Division title, and he's held the Global TV Legends, whatever you want to call it, title. So that's 4 titles, that's the Grand Slam. And history was made. I really think that they're doing all of the right things in TNA right now. I didn't like the fact that they put Eric Bischoff in the ring as Matt Hardy's partner. Why not use Wildcat Chris Harris? Or anybody from Immortal. They could have used Gunner. I like what Gunner and Eric Young are doing. That seems very interesting. I can see that feud going very well. I would love to see EY win the TV title. That would be kind of cool, because EY is one of the best wrestlers they have in terms of wrestling. And I do have notes here that I'm going through. The Robert Roode Ric Flair thing I thought was really good. And I mean, the show started off with that brawl between Immortal and the X Division guys. Then Fortune came out. Fortune lost James Storm to a concussion during that brawl. Kaz is out with a bad back. They took out Robert Roode's shoulder. AJ's out with the bad neck. So, in essence, Immortal has taken out the X Division and Fortune in one night. I mean, the X Division's not dead by any means, but they've got the belt now, and they've got the belt on the Monster Abyss, who's going to be very hard to beat for an X Division guy. Let's see what else we're going to talk about. Joe Red, I'm not going to talk about that. That was a fucking squash. Looked ridiculous. Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett. Finally, the feud is going to end at Slammiversary. It should have ended 2 pay-per-views ago. Kurt Angle's putting up the gold medal. Karen Angle's not dead. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Velvet Sky getting the win in a handicap match versus Winter and Angelina was very good to me. I really enjoyed that. It was funny because, I mean, they're doing this whole zombie mind control thing with Angelina Love. And in all her zombie power, she couldn't kick out of a small package. Really? It was just good. I was glad Velvet won. Then ODB returns, calls her a whore and many other names, and attacks her, just beats Velvet Sky down. I'm glad to see ODB back, but I just wish they would have had her in a different role, because it kind of kills the momentum that Velvet Sky has been building. Let's see what else we got here from Impact. Nothing that I really want to talk about. Sorry, fans. As many of you know, the wrestling world lost another one of its brothers on Friday, as Randy Macho Man Savage was killed tragically due to the result of a car accident in Florida. And this is going to sound strange to a lot of you guys, but when a wrestler dies, I treat it like it's a death in the family. Because anybody that's been in the wrestling business, especially from my generation, we idolized Randy Savage when we were growing up. We watched all his matches. He was one of my favorites personally, and in the early part of my career, I would do the elbow drop off the top rope as a tribute to Randy Savage. And, it's just sad that for everything the man has gone through, I mean, he just lost his father a year or 2 ago. And I want to send my heartfelt condolences to Lanny Poffo, who's Randy Savage's brother, and Angelo Poffo's son, and their entire family, because it's a great loss for the world, not just the wrestling world, but the world in general. Randy Savage was a good man. I would like to now um, list my 5 favorite Randy Savage matches, which I just lost the list. Sorry. Um, I will go from 5 to 1. I would say number 5 was versus Diamond Dallas Page at Halloween Havoc 1997. That was a great feud. Number 4 versus DDP, Diamond Dallas Page at the Great American Bash. Number 3 versus DDP at Spring Stampede. And those matches to me were Randy Savage's career in WCW. I mean, yeah, he held the world title a couple of times, but those matches really made you see how good Randy Savage was in WCW. Number 2 would be WrestleMania 4, where he won the WWF Championship over Ted DiBiase in the tournament final. And of course, number 1, if anybody didn't know this, it's widely regarded as one of the best matches in wrestling history, and I personally think it's one of the best matches in WrestleMania history. WrestleMania 3 at the Pontiac Silverdome in front of 93,000 fans when he lost the Intercontinental Championship to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Even wrestlers will tell you, well, that wasn't the match on the card that everybody paid to see. No, but it's the match that everybody talks about. Fans talk about that match. Still today, we talk about that match more than we talk about Hogan Andre, which was the main event. People might have paid their money to see Hogan Andre. They walked away from that show talking about Savage Steamboat. You know, fans, I hate it when wrestlers die. And, you know, I felt this way about Chris Benoit until I found out the events that led to his death. And, you know, regardless, I mean, if Savage had a heart attack behind the wheel and hit a tree, that was beyond his control to a point. You know, and I feel bad for him. I feel bad for his family. I feel bad for his beautiful wife, who thankfully survived the car accident with very minimal injuries. So thank you, God, for that. You know, Randy Savage will never be forgotten in the wrestling business as long as there are fans like me. Because, like I said, he was my mentor. I looked up to Randy Savage. And, you know, it's been said on WrestleZone and other websites, and by the way, Yahoo Sports covered Randy Savage's death. They never cover wrestling, okay? Never. ESPN SportsCenter covered Randy Savage's death. They never talk about wrestling because it's not a real sport. Anyways, what I was saying was, it's been discussed on many, many websites. Will Vince McMahon induct Randy Savage into the Hall of Fame now? On one hand, I would love to see it because he deserves it. On the other hand, I don't want it to happen just because he died. Savage was a good worker. He was good on the mic. He carried a lot of feuds. He carried a feud with Jake Roberts. He carried a feud with Ric Flair. He carried the feud with Diamond Dallas Page and made him a heel. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, but not just because he died. Because he deserves it. Plain and simple. Alright, fans, I'm going to wrap this up. This is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. I'll be back Monday night after Raw. Email the show, wrestlingwrapup@yahoo.com. Follow me on Twitter, @ProudToBeStraightEdge. I'll catch you guys Monday night after Raw.